You are closing massive deals. Your marketing spend is aggressive, and top-line revenue looks like a tidal wave of new business. But there is a problem. Despite that flood of new users, your cash flow is stalling, and your team is nearing exhaustion. You are likely facing leaky bucket syndrome. Many companies become so focused on acquiring new customers that they fail to see those same users are pouring right back out the bottom. Record-breaking sales numbers serve no purpose if your underlying retention mechanics are failing. In business, customer relationships are often mistaken for basic etiquette like smiling or speaking politely. While necessary, those are manners, not strategy. In the business model canvas, customer relationships represent a calculated choice about how you interact with your users, a choice that sits directly alongside your cost structure. The depth of the relationship you provide must align with the profit margins of the product you're selling. Every interaction with a buyer is a financial decision designed to protect those margins. You have a spectrum of operational choices, from expensive, human-led assistance to highly scalable, automated self-service. If you deploy high-touch, human-led support for a low-margin product, the cost of that service will likely consume your profit. In lean manufacturing, this is the waste of overprocessing. To map the customer lifecycle, we use the ARG framework. First, acquisition reduces buyer risk and acquisition costs. Next, retention shifts you from reactive support to proactive customer success. Finally, growth increases lifetime value through upselling and active referrals. Mastering this timeline transforms a business from a leaking vessel into a compounding engine. Consider a B2B company that sold complex ERP and maintenance software to industrial factories. They operated on a sell-and-forget model. They were effective at closing million-dollar deals, but they had no strategy for what happened after the sale. Without guidance, the factory workers found the new software too difficult to use. They simply abandoned it and returned to their old paper-based methods. The impact was measurable. When the annual software renewals arrived, the company faced a 30% churn rate as managers realized no one was using the system. A $1 million contract is only a temporary win if the end user rejects the implementation. After an internal audit, the company pivoted their strategy toward retention and growth mechanisms. They first deployed success teams specifically to train the factory workers, ensuring the software was actually adopted on the plant floor. Next, they built automated systems to monitor usage. This allowed them to proactively reach out the moment a client stopped logging in, rather than waiting for a cancellation call. They also built a community for plant managers to share operational best practices. Churn dropped from 30% to 2%, and the total value generated from each customer increased significantly. Proactive customer success is the engineering of long-term profitability. The math here is consistent across industries. It is roughly 5 times cheaper to retain an existing customer than it is to find a new one. The goal of the growth phase is to turn successful users into advocates, creating a referral loop that reduces the cost of your future acquisition efforts. Look at your own operations. Do you know the actual ratio between your customer acquisition cost and the lifetime value of your buyers? Are you misallocating high-touch, expensive service to the clients who generate your lowest profit margins? Is your support infrastructure waiting for complaints, or are you using data to intervene before a customer reaches the point of failure? If you cannot answer these questions, your business is likely leaking cash that could be used for expansion. In the modern economy, product features and pricing can be replicated by competitors relatively quickly. The relationships and experiences you engineer are much more difficult for a competitor to replicate than a software feature or a price point. These lifelong relationships provide the foundation for automated, recurring revenue streams. Managing these relationships with precision turns a one-time transaction into a predictable financial asset.